Hi everybody. Working on some Flames of War, which I realize I haven't done since I think March when I was doing my version 4 Africa Corps. And while this looks like it could be that, it's actually for my late war stuff. So right now, just going to go through the steps. I've got my Magnus put in, stowage here and there, as you can see, and the tank commander sticking out of the thing. And I've just primed them all. I know it's like, yes, do we need to see another Panzer IV paint? But I'm planning on doing the the P dot ambush style camouflage on here for my Canadian Nationals list. I have 3 weeks to paint 12 models, so that's 10 Panzer IVs and 2 Pumas, and that should be it. The rest of my army is done. I decided that I was going to not take my usual 21st Panzer purely because I always take them because I'm like, I don't feel like painting those Panzer IVs. So yeah, I'm going to paint these guys up finally, and the list is probably going to suck, but I got 3 weeks to paint them, so we'll see what's what. Cheers. Alright, now I've got some more work done. After putting on the middle stone on all 5 tanks, I then used chocolate brown Vallejo 872, Luftwaffe camo dark green 979, and reflective green 890 to put the camouflage on. A lot of people will do just the one type of green, but I have found that they sometimes use 2 greens, and you can see it best here. For the ambush pattern with the dots, you want a lot less of the Dunkelgelb showing. Well, in this case, I've used Middlestone 882. So as you can see, and I'll use my paintbrush to point it out. You can see here, this is the lighter green, the refractive green, and this is the Luftwaffe green. Don't worry too much about if there's a couple spots you missed there, because we're going to be covering it up with some dots. So I just did a basic camo pattern. These are the quote-unquote new plastic Panzer IVs from Battlefront. I'm not putting the side shirts on them because these are the ones that, if you guys will remember, had the wrong number of panels for the Schürzen, and the back wheel here has 8 spokes and is supposed to only have 7. I don't really care about the number of spokes, but the Schürzen, I just can't really go with it. And the other nice thing is that I've got 5, or this is a unit of 5. I've got another unit of 5, and those are the old metal and resin hybrids with the plastic Schürzen on those, and those are all the right ones. So at a quick glance, I mean, nobody's got time to look at tank numbers on the side. Oh, that's actually 301, so that's a different platoon. Nah. From far away, you'll be able to tell, okay, the guys with Schürzen on the tracks are one unit or one platoon, and the other ones aren't. So it's going to be pretty easy to tell. And again, these have been magnetized here. I mean, we've got the Battlefront back from when they used to still include the magnets in the kits. They've stopped doing that. I think because of in some countries, like selling the small magnets is illegal because of, I guess, some kids swallowed one magnet and then swallowed one the next day, and the 2 magnets went together in his intestines or some crap and caused lots of damage. So I guess they can't sell them anymore in the kits, which is too bad. I really liked having the magnets, but there we go. Now all I'm going to do, you might be wondering as well, why haven't I done the tracks yet? I usually do the tracks after I'm finished with the camouflage, and the next step here is going to be using the dark green to make dots on the yellow, and to use the middle stone to make dots on the brown and the green. So we'll see where I'm at shortly. Okay, so at this stage, the bulk of the work is done. The home stretch is in sight for this platoon of Panzer IVs. I've added what to me is the most tedious part, and that's the black on the tracks, on the some stowage, and the
whatever these things are on the back. I've seen some people say that it's a fuel tank, this black spot in the back, or that it's a muffler. Typically, they're painted like this weird rust color, which to me I always thought was kind of weird. You know, it's World War II, and you expect a rusty car to be like 10 years old, and these tanks were just a couple years old. But I did read somewhere though that while the rest of the metal is painted back in the 40s, there wasn't a paint that could withstand the heat of engine pieces, so the paint would just flake off, and then any little bit of water would just cause it to rust immediately. But anyways, it just seems weird to me that you'd have German engineering and it would be rusting, like an old Pontiac's on fire or something. But anyways, I digress. The dots, as you can see, are just Dunkelgelb on top of the green and the brown only. I did do the green dots on the Dunkelgelb on my Pumas and didn't like the way it turned out. It just looked too weird, so I went over the Dunkelgelb again and did the dots just there, and then realized that I had done that on my Jagd Panthers for last year, for a tournament I did last year. So now they're all going to be unified. So this is the platoon of plastic Battlefront models. This Panzer IV platoon had been pretty much done before for my 21st Panzer. I had a lot of weird camo on it at the time, which I've since removed. I had camo on the sides of the like actual branches and things on the barrels, and draped off the sides of the shirts in here. You can see where I've had to repaint. So if you look at the shirts on this one here, that's the color that they were in the past. And if you look at this shirts in here, you can see where I've repainted, and I'm going to have to do the black lining and the shirts and the gaps in the shirts, and I'm going to have to re-ink. And I did find a whole bunch more of these little gas cans, jerry cans, so I'm going to paint those up as well. And again, because the barrels had camo on them, they're uninked. So I did that draped camouflage. And the draped camouflage I did for my King Tigers way back in the day, and they look great on the King Tigers, but they looked horrible on the Panzer IVs. And as you can see, I have put the dots on my King Tigers as well. These are actually fairly old models for me now, back for when I was doing hand-painted vehicle numbers. I mean, they look okay, but they would look better with decals. Now that I'm more comfortable doing decals on such small models here, I will redo those as well. So this is pretty much my army. I just got to have the two Skorzeny Jeeps, which I have to make MP crews for and get. They're just going to be old British Jeeps. But my main goal is to get these two units up to the same standards as the other units. There's 2 weeks to go for the tournament, so I'm on the home stretch now, but I still want to get them done and looking good for Nationals. Anyways, enough rambling for me. Catch you guys on the flip side.
What's going on, everybody? So here I have that platoon of Panzer IVs done with the inking, the black on the tracks, then the metal. I did a little bit, I don't want to say too much stowage, but I did just just so that they stand out as those the jerry cans with the white cross. I understand that that meant fresh water, and that it would make sense that some of them would be gas cans, but they look so much cooler with the white cross. And I've done my Pumas as well, so they've got more jerry cans on them, as you can see. Now all that's left, I mean, I could just take these to the tournament as is, but now what's left to do is all the tools. Actually, I think the Pumas have them on the other side more so than... So you can see there's like pliers, there's a shovel, there's other equipment on here. So there's just that to be done, and then decals, and then they're ready. And the Cdn Nationals is in a week, so I've got plenty of time to get that stuff done. And yeah, catch you guys when I'm done. for the last video in this series.
All right, well now we've got the tools and other things done. So for example, if this would zoom in, actually, it's for some reason zoomed in on the Puma. You can see the spade in the back there. So I just did some flat earth for the wood for the spade in the back, and the same metal color for the various tools that are strapped on. And again, if it was zoom in there, there's a small hatchet strapped to the front there. The other side, there's a couple of bags here and there. So there's like a brown strap that you can see. Oh, why is it not focusing? There we go. I don't know what that pack is right there, but I don't know. I painted the brown strap on it there, and then there's more metal tools strapped onto the side. Guys who are, did tanking for a living in the Army could probably tell me what every single one of those tools are, but the ones on the Puma are a bit more obvious to see. So there's a hatchet in the back. It looks like a giant set of wire cutters in the middle, and then a spade under the turret. So it really doesn't do that much to it, but when you see a model that doesn't have the tools done, for me, maybe this is just me, it just kind of sticks out. So I like to get mine done. Now all I got is decals, but there you go. That's how you do that's how I did my ambush pattern. P. Camo for my tanks. Hope you guys enjoyed. Cheers.